of your go-to for all things home. This is Home Answers Radio, presented by JeffBuysYourHouse.com, Valdecast Windows and Doors, and by Center Guard Plumbing. Once again, here's Roger Piper.
Your go-to for all things home. It's Home Answers Radio.
Hi, welcome to Home Answers. I'm Roger Piper. This show is all about your home, and we like to talk about everything. Today, we're going to talk about selling your home, and we have a special guest, Jeff Neidiger, with JeffBuysYourHouse.com. Jeff Buys Your House, and .com is the website. Welcome to the show, Jeff.
Roger, thanks for having me on again.
You bet. Now, we're going to talk about selling your home. And we've mentioned this before, there's really two traditional ways of doing that. Mm-hmm. One is that you go and, you get your house ready to sell. You contract with a realtor. You do necessary upgrades. You do open houses. You do that whole thing. All right, that's your traditional route. The other route to go is that with companies like yours, where you come in and make a cash offer and buy the house as is. Tell us a little bit more about that, Jeff.
Sure. Yeah, folks would reach out to us because they're looking for a little less traditional option, maybe. I think a lot of us have seen either the signs or have heard of someone that buys houses for cash. We do that, but we're a little bit more of a sophisticated company. I'd like to think that we're more of a partner in the journey of the home selling. And what I mean by that is, when you reach out to us, we're going to grab some information from you and then set up an appointment at your convenience to come out and see the house and talk with you about the process. It's no obligation. There's no pressure. We don't do a bunch of sales training that's going to make you feel awkward or weird. But we're there to hear about what you want in the end, which we all know that you want to sell the house. But typically it's you want to move to this place or that place, or maybe it's just you really have to get mom or dad out of a situation or scenario. Mm-hmm. And we want to take all that into consideration. We're going to leave you with a cash offer in writing that says that, hey, we're buying it as is. We're going to pay your closing costs. It's actually a one-page offer, which in this day and age is unheard of. And then when you're ready to close, whether that be in 14 days or in 140 days, we're there to see you at the closing table and work with you all the way through to make it really smooth.
Mm-hmm. So you're like a buyer that's a partner because you're taking them through the journey. And there's so many different things that can happen. People are usually speed has a lot to do with it. Hey, I'm moving into a retirement village, or I'm moving across country, mm-hmm. or I have something. So speed is a big thing. And there's always those hiccups and bumps. And I know that you like to kind of help them come up with creative solutions in order to make it easier for them, because that's one of the advantages of what you do.
Yeah, and to make a clarifying point on that, I would say the speed is at the home seller speed, the listener's speed. Yep. It's at your speed that you want to move. It could be as quick or as slow as you would want it. We've got, like I've told you before, we've got purchases that were scheduled right now that are out 3, 4, 5 months from now. And so we're willing to accommodate just about any situation and buy just about any type of house all over Chicagoland. So Come one, come all. We talked to a lot of people, all different price ranges all around the Chicagoland area, and we've been buying them since, 2007.
Yeah. And one thing that people need to probably take into account is there's a number of different things. And, up until, I don't know, not too terribly long ago, there really wasn't too many people buying homes. It wasn't a real option. So a lot of people may not know about that it is a different option. But if you just take a look at, and we'll talk about so many things involved with the emotional part, but let's go dollars and cents. If you first of all, anytime you sell a home's a risk. You don't know if you're going to get the price. You don't know what kind of the market's going to be. There's really no guarantees at all. And that's one thing that you can do is guarantee you're going to buy this house at this price. And it's going to happen, right? You're not going to get a seller backing out the last minute or financing falling through. But people will say, well, I'm going to give up a whole bunch of value. All right, well, let's take a look at that. How much are you paying in commission to that person, to that realtor? Okay, and that can be hefty. So you've got that going on. you've got any kind of repairs or renovations that need to happen, or, some kind of settlement that comes out of an inspection. There's a lot of things there, and those dollars start adding up. Like I said, I had a relative with a scenario very much like that. Wanted to move, and they just looked at, and they had done very little renovations at all. And realtors looked at it and said, hey, you got to put like 30, 40, 50 grand in this house before, or it's going to have a problem. And they said, we don't have the time. We don't really want to do it. We could probably afford it, but then that's going to delay things. And we already have our other house. So those are all kinds of things to think about when you're doing it. And then, of course, the emotional part of that.
If I could jump into that, I think, one of the things that people don't think about a lot of times is that they could sell their house as is. They'll just say they'll put it on the market with a real estate agent as is, and they're not going to do repairs. And that could be true. But should someone get a financed buyer, well, a lot of these banks now and lenders are going to require certain repairs to be completed prior to closing. It doesn't really matter if the house is sold as is or not. They're going to require it for the loan. And that's not to scare anyone. It's just the reality of the world we live in today.
Yeah, it is.
So I think we're all trying to say we're going to sell our house because it's a nice place, and even if that doesn't work or that's not perfect, we're going to sell it as is. Well, with us, our eyes are wide open, and we do this professionally. So we're going to come in and say, we know what we're getting our hands on. You just walked us through and told us all the things about the house. We know what kind of offer we're writing. Here it is. And so you don't have to – I think you can take a deep breath after that because you're like, okay, they're not coming back asking for X, Y, Z. I'm not going to have to call a contractor to fix the thing that I never did 20 years ago and kind of left it. That part is off the table. And then, like you said, those closing costs, that can really add up. Broker commission, closing costs, all the different fees that title companies and cities and villages charge. A lot of these closing costs we're going to take care of. And so you're really going to get something real close to the purchase price, which is, again, not a traditional method. You're usually purchase price minus all of your costs. And then you get, oh my gosh, that's all I get for this. So it's something people should consider for sure.
Yeah. And I think, again, anybody that is looking to sell in any scenario should at least give you a call and look at the possibility, because, it's very smart and intelligent to look into different ways. And I think so many people just aren't aware that there is an alternative to the traditional route. I know a lot of people won't sell just because they don't want to have to go through the hassle that they have to go through. 630.
We actually. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to give out your number, 630-895-9530, 630-895-9530. And, of course, you'll do a free consultation. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, I was going to say, call us, give us a buzz. We come out, there's no obligation. We're going to at least treat you with kindness and respect. And I promise one thing, that we'll leave your house, and you'll be way more educated about selling your home than you were prior to us arriving. And you won't feel weird about the process. We're not going to make you feel any different than you did before you called us. Besides, you'll have some more information. So at least give us a ring and give us a shot and see if we can put something together. And if not, we'll wish you the best. And you may have to go the traditional route, which is maybe that's the best for that person's, scenario. So
the nice thing is that when you do the traditional route, there is very little leeway. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. It's very much a process. The closing date is really not negotiable as much as you think. The seller kind of controls that.
Right.
There's a lot of different things. And it just makes sense to at least look, if you've got A and B different ways to sell your house, at least look at both of them. So I think that makes sense for everybody. Obviously, one of the things.
I think you give yourself some options.
Yeah, and you're right. If you will find out more about your home that you didn't know, it just makes sense. So I would really, really think that would be a good thing to do. Also, so many times, and I've been in this, everybody does, something happens and you own a house, all of a sudden somebody passes, some kind of settlement or whatever. It could be you. It could be a number of family members, and you all have an interest in this house, and now what are you going to rent it? You're going to renovate it. You're going to live in it. All these different scenarios. But one of the things that you do that's different in a lot of companies is that you help them get through that emotional and, part of selling, don't you?
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of times I think we think that the house is the thing that we're talking about, but that ends up just being the first part. And the second, the third, and the fourth part is what's next and where do I go and how does it work and who meets me at closing and, when do I get the money from closing and all these things. And so we're really trying to, cross our T's and dot our I's and make sure that you are informed all the way throughout and that we're a partner for you, that if you need help with storage or moving or we've had to do dog walking services. I mean, we've had to just do things to make sure that people can. I mean, it's just the things that life throw at you.
Yeah.
That sometimes we don't think about. But in order to sell just a house, quote unquote, there's a lot of steps that go on. That's the burden, right? That people feel the emotional toll that it can take on you sometimes. So we just want to be there to be a partner with you. And of course, we're going to buy the house, but that's almost the easiest thing for us. It's all the rest of the stuff that we're willing to be there for you.
And that's one of the advantages. You don't get that on the traditional route. You don't get people that are saying, hey, let me help. No. I mean, that's just being brutally honest. You list your house with a realtor, and there's a process, and you're gonna go down the boat, and you're going down that river in that boat, and that's it. It doesn't have the flexibility that you have. Any scenario, we're going to sell your house, your condo, any property. Give Jeff a call because I think there is such, if the internet has taught us one thing is there's no such thing as not having enough information. And this is one option so many people don't know about. So here's how you do it. Go to jeffbuysyourhouse.com and check it out there. A lot of great reviews, and you can find out what people are saying about it. And there's nothing like first person on that. The other thing is to give him a call at 630-895-9530, 630-895-9530. He'll come by, take a look, and check it out for you. Jeff, thanks for being on the show, and thanks for everything you do, and thanks for your service being a veteran.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks again, Roger.
All right, it's Home Answers. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Your